Hey everyone, this is Angel with TechTutorial, and in this video I'm going to show you how to install Git on Windows, Mac, and Linux. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to do it on the Windows. So I'm remoted here into my Windows box, and I'm going to go ahead and open my web browser. And in my web browser here in the search bar, I'm going to go to git-sem.com, and from here you can go ahead and click on this download button here, download for Windows. Now you're going to have a couple options here, so you can download a standalone installer or portable. I'm going to use this standalone installer, and if you're interested you can do the portable one. I'm going to do standalone for 64-bit, and if you're using 32-bit you're going to have to do this one. So I'm going to go ahead and click on it. That will go ahead and download the package on my system, and from here you can go ahead and open your package. I'm going to go ahead and close this so we can see a little bit better. Now in here you're going to have to go ahead and click on next. Here you can pick your installation directory. I'm going to keep it to the standard program files and click next. And here I'm going to keep all the standards, except I'm going to add an icon on my desktop for easier access, and I'm going to check it here so it updates my Git daily. Go ahead and click next. Here you can change the name for your startup menu shortcut. I'm going to leave it to the default. And here you can pick your text editor. I don't have anything else installed here, so I'm going to keep mine to Vim, but you can see they have different options. So if you are using Notepad++ or Visual Studio Code or Sublime Text, any of those are supported here. You can set them up as a default. So again, I'm just going to keep it to the Vim for now. Go ahead and click next. Here's going to ask you to adjust the name of your initial branch. I'm going to keep it to the default. Let's Git decide. That way your main branch is going to be called master, or if you want you can pick your own name. Again, I'm just going to keep it to the default. And go ahead and click on next. Here you have three options. Again, I'm going to use the recommended, which will make it so you can run Git from Git's own terminal, but you'll also be able to run it from your CMD or your PowerShell. So you can go ahead here and click next. Then here I'm going to use their own OpenSSH. If for some reason you want to use an external OpenSSH, you can do that. Now same thing with the OpenSSL. I'm just going to use the certificates that come bundled with Git, but if you want to use your Windows ones, you can choose this option here. For the checkout style, I'm going to use the Windows recommended one since I'm running it on Windows, but again, this will be your personal preference. I'm going to go ahead and click next here. And again, I'm just going to leave it to the default. For the Git pull behavior, I'm going to keep it to the default since according to them, it is the recommended one. And I'm going to go ahead and click next. And then the credential manager, again, I'm just going to keep the one that they recommend here. So I'm going to go ahead and click next. Enable file system caching, we're going to keep that checked. That way we'll have a better performance. And again, next. And these two experimental features, I'm not going to check on any of them since I don't want to mess with the experimental features. I'm going to go ahead and click install. This will take a couple of minutes here, but once you're done, we should see our Git bash icon here on our desktop. All right, once the installation is complete, if you choose, you want to view the release notes. In my case, I'm going to check this off, and if you want, you can auto start your Git bash. I'm just going to keep this one off for now, so I'm just going to go ahead and click on finish. Now, as you can see, we have an icon of our Git bash here on our desktop. So what you can do is just double click on it, and that will open your Git terminal. So in this Git terminal, it will be like a bash shell. So when you run commands here, you will be using a bash syntax. So for example, you can do pwd to see your location, and your directories will be listed as in bash. So you have your slashes will be the other way. To list the directory, you're going to have to run the ls command instead of a dir that you would run on Windows. Basically, you have your Git bash here, and in here, if we run, I misspelled this, clear to clear my screen, and if we run Git, you're gonna see that we have Git now installed here, and we can start using it. Now, one thing I just want to show you is, since we chose to be able to use it with third-party tools, you can go ahead and run your CMD, and you're also gonna have Git in here. So if you're more familiar with the Windows way of navigating around, you can just run it from your command prompt. Then here you can run your dir command to list directories and navigate around, or you can also use your PowerShell. You're going to have Git installed in here as well. So that's pretty much how you do it on Windows. It's pretty straightforward. What you just have to do is go ahead and download the installer and go through all the steps. And again, those are mostly like a personal preferences there. So whatever I pick, don't have to be choosing the same settings, but those are kind of like the standards. Now, the next thing I'm going to show you is how to install it on your Linux. So I'm going to go ahead here and I'm going to open my Linux box. And in Linux is much easier than Windows. All we have to do in Linux is you can go ahead and open your terminal, and I'm running right now on Debian Linux, so all you have to do is run apt install git, and that would take a minute or two, and you will have Git installed in your system and you will be able to run it. And our installation is completed, so I'm going to go ahead here and run Git, and as you can see we have Git installed in our system, so we can start initiate a repository or clone down repository or whatever you need to do it. Alright, so the next thing I'm going to show you is how to do it on your Mac. So I'm going to go ahead and close this here, and on a Mac you have a couple of options to do it. So one is if you have brew installed in your Mac, all you have to do is run brew install git, and if you hit enter, that's going to go ahead and install Git on your system. In my case, I don't have brew installed, so I'm going to use the second method, which is actually much easier. If you don't want to deal with installing brew, you can use that method. But if you do want to do it with brew and you want to learn how to install brew, I have another video that you can go and check out. Yeah, go ahead, check out that video if you want to use brew. Otherwise, on Mac, all you have to do is just run the command git. If you don't have it installed, what will happen is, you will get this message here that would tell you that don't have it and then you need Xcode, and this pop-up would show up on your screen. So once this pop-up shows up on your screen, all you have to do is click on install, agree, and this will start an installation of Xcode. And once Xcode command line tools is installed on your system, you will have Git available. Now this usually takes about 10-15 minutes, so you just have to be patient. And once the installation has completed, you can go ahead, click on done, and the next thing you want to do is just go ahead and run Git to confirm that it got installed. And as you can see, now we have Git installed on our Mac. So that's pretty much it. As you can see, it's pretty easy to install Git on Mac, Linux, and Windows. I hope this video was useful to you. If you liked it, please click on the like button. And if you want to see more of my videos, please subscribe for my channel. Thank you for watching.